Welcome to today's CVision webinar. The topic on today's webinar, the benefits of optimizing scanned paper within the legal industry. So let's talk about the move, and we've seen a lot of moves in the industry towards the paperless office. A lot of companies, law firms have to deal with lots and lots of paper, and of course, it's very convenient if you can turn some of that paper into electronic files that are equally searchable, viewable, a lot more functional than original paper. So if you want to move towards a paperless office, what are some of the obstacles that the legal industry faces? Well, one is there's a high volume of paper, often in issues such like when it comes to discovery, for example, you have a company handing over volumes of material, often it's paper form, and the other opposing counsel has got to make sense of it all. So there are high volumes of paper, wide range of documents. You don't really know what's coming in. It's unlike some of the more controlled environments you might have in a bank. In banking, where you're expecting a mortgage or a loan application, here you don't quite know what you're getting, particularly when you talk about litigation, discovery. For example, it could be contracts, forms, applications, pleadings, correspondence. So lots of documents and not necessarily of one variety. Typically, documents are text intensive, and if you're talking about discovery or e-discovery, you really need to find the needle in the haystack a lot of times. So you want to be able to search these documents. If you have paper and you don't scan it in, you're not going to be able to find what you're looking for. There are also changing regulatory requirements that can make things more difficult. And often there's a need for long-term archival of the material. So when you get into records retention policy, for example, if you have paper, it's really hard to say, well, after 7 years, I got to remember to shred everything. You could do this in a fairly automated way if you put the archiving requests directly into, for example, your PDF file as metadata, and you can have a program that automatically will delete things once they're past the term of for which you want to archive them. So anyway, there's quite a few obstacles with respect to moving legal, both law firms and law departments, towards the paperless office. I'll give you an example of how CVision's been helpful in automating law firms and having their document workflow process much faster and much better response time. For example, one law firm that we've dealt with, over 1,200 attorneys, they had a business problem. Litigation documents are hosted on a site, but they were very inefficient to manage, transmit, download, store. Typically, I think they were TIFF in this case, not particularly searchable, and of course very large in terms of size. The average captured document is about 10 to 20 times larger than the original electronic file. So if you have a contract, for example, and it was half a meg, by the time you scan it, it could easily be 5 meg or 10 meg. So they had a real problem with litigation documents being web hosted effectively, and in this case they had to share it between various counsel. There were several law firms on this case. It was a large case, and they were not effectively able to upload and download off of their web hosted site. CVision solution, when we came in, we helped them with both compression on the one side and OCR on the other. So we made their files to a lot smaller, moved them from TIFF to PDF, got about a 10-fold reduction in file size. Actually, their web hosting fees requirements went down significantly, and now, of course, everything was searchable too. So it really made the website much, much more effective in terms of hosting, online hosting of litigation documents. Some of the benefits in this case included reduced bandwidth and storage cost, improved efficiency within the distributed environment they had, which again was not only within their firm, but across several other law firms. And of course, document retrieval time was accelerated, much faster download time, much faster upload time, more reliable text searching. We have a highly accurate OCR process, so they could find everything they needed and quickly. The product they used in this case was our PDF compressor. It's one of our flagship products that does both super compression of PDF files and also makes them searchable and web optimized at the same time. I'll give you another example. In this case, we had a law firm with about 200 attorneys, and they had a problem that essentially they had high volumes of inbound and outbound mail, paper, and it was inefficient and cumbersome to distribute that mail within their organization. So they wanted to come up with a paperless solution moving mail around the organization. That would be what's called in the industry today digital mailroom. So when you take your mailroom and you try to digitize it, right? Lots of companies get lots of paper, and particularly a lot of it comes in every day as mail. If you can scan that mail and sort it within your organization, distribute it electronically, there should be some cost savings to the company. Well, so here, this law firm had high volumes of inbound and outbound mail, and they wanted to make everything electronic. So the CVision solution, we came in and got them scanning on all their mail, and essentially once the documents are brought into the system, they're scanned and routed to the employee or to the group based on cover page with a barcode. So someone would open the mail, determine which group it had to go to, was either a person or a group, put a barcode on the front cover telling you who the file, this particular mail item, had to get routed to. It would be scanned using a combination of CVision's e-filer and PDF compressor modules. It would be scanned and then automatically routed by email to the party that had to get the mail. So again, files were efficiently OCR'd, searched, and compressed using our PDF compressor, routed via e-filer. Some of the benefits here: paper-based information, you can find it right away. Where did I put that mail? Where's that correspondence with the client? Where's that application that I have to renew a copyright, for example? All that's available electronically at the speed of a Google desktop search or a summation iBlaze query. Files are automatically organized and routed, accelerated document retrieval time, everything's available on your machine or on your server. Don't have to find that paper anymore. More efficient times, you get faster access to the files, more reliable search, reduction in just physical space, a lot less need for office space in terms of keeping all the mail, all the boxes as physical paper. So that was a win for that law firm with respect to moving them more towards a paperless office in terms of a digital mailroom solution. I'll talk about one more example here. So in this case, we had a law firm, a large law firm, again, about 1,100 attorneys, and they wanted to share documents within the organization. That was hard. Many of their email attachments were very large. They did some black and white scans. There were some color scans, and often you could reach an attachment that was well in excess of 10 megabytes. So they're really interested in compression and searchability of their files as they try to start scanning more and more paper. Overall efficiency of documents was slow because of inflated file size. CVision came in this case, and we put PDF compressor in watch folder mode, so we caught all their paper as it was being captured, and essentially all their paper-based documents started being processed by the PDF compressor module, and we were seeing effective file sizes go down between a tenth black and a tenth of the original size in black and white, and for color scans up to 100 times smaller. So a major reduction in the size of captured documents, which let them use them much more effectively within their organization, both as email and also with respect to hosting these documents. So again, files were easier to transmit, to access, storage costs were reduced, and of course compressed files were easily emailed within their organization and to their clients. So in conclusion, in terms of where CVision software can be beneficial to the legal industry, CVision software is used by many law firms. It's well over 100 law firms and legal departments. The legal industry typically has a high volume of paper. They get a lot of paper with respect to litigation. A lot of it's unknown, it's uncharted. They got to make sense of it all. So there's a lot of paper in legal, and to make that paperless, to be able to scan that, have it captured, and search on it, email it, is obviously beneficial. So a lot of paper in legal, and they need a paperless solution. CVision has solutions used in industry and particularly in legal to optimize scanned paper. Law firms and legal departments have implemented CVision software in a few different variations, in particular to host litigation documents, automatically classify material, improve the e-discovery process, and in general create documents, electronic documents, that are more efficient to manage.